ASL interpreters have to have three things to really be good. First, they have to be a human thesaurus, and you're going to learn a lot about that in this video. Two, they have to be an empath. You have to be able to read people, to feel people, to understand people. And third, it really, really helps if they're a subject matter expert in the thing in which they're interpreting, or at least familiar enough to be proficient. In this video, you're going to learn just 3 signs. Those 3 signs will have 3 practice sentences, and you're going to be challenged with how do you take it from American Sign Language to spoken English. All right, here's an ASL challenge. Let's go. Okay, our first sign is fed up. It's signed like this. You're going to take a forehand, a B hand. Let's use that one, right? A B hand from mid-chest up to your bottom of your chin. All right, let's look at it this way. Okay, fed up, fed up. All right, now its origin is the sign I'm full, right? I've eaten and I've eaten and I've eaten. My stomach is so full, I am now full. That's not this. This is fed up. Now I'm going to give you the sentence. Remember, this is not how I would translate it. It's not how I would interpret it. I'm going to give you the words and the signs, and then together we're going to pick out the best way to voice the sign for fed up. Okay, here we go. Here's the sentence that the deaf person signs to you. Many meetings, no interpreter. I'm not invited to other meetings, and I'm not informed. I am fed up. Okay, let me sign that for you. Okay, now let's go over to the thesaurus, right, thesaurus.com, and let's pick out the right word that you would have voiced for the sign fed up. All right, here we go. So we can look at fed up. There's a whole bunch of choices here, right? We have annoyed, we have discontented, gloomy, satiated, right? Lots of words that you could use for fed up. The typical interpreter would just voice fed up, but that's not the highest and best use. I chose annoyed, okay, A-N-N-O-Y-E-D, based on my experience with the individual and the situation. So I would have said annoyed when they signed fed up. Let's move on to our next one. Okay, here's our second sign. It's enough. Enough. You're taking your non-dominant hand in a fist. You're taking this hand 5, once, twice. Enough. All right, enough. There's the sign. Let's give you the practice sentence. Remember, this is not how I would voice it. All right, I'm just giving you the words to the sign. I put in $6 of gas to drive 40 minutes, and I had enough when I arrived. All right? Okay, so what word would you have used voicing for the sign enough? Again, it's really helpful if you know the situation and the background, the emotion, what's going on with the individual who's signing. Let's go over to thesaurus.com. So we see here we have a lot more choices, right? Enough is a really unique word. Enough can mean more than enough, just exactly how much you need, or you know what? It was almost inadequate. So here the first one, synonyms for enough, and we see abundant, all right? Complete, all right already, bounteous. All right, it's none of those based on the sentence we looked at. Let's look at some more. How about average, moderately, reasonably, right? Then we have the noun plenty, okay? Based on the sentence, I chose barely. They had just put in $6 of gas and they barely made it to their destination. So barely would have been the word I used to translate the sign enough. Now, finished, which is our next sign, is by far the most common and the most difficult to translate correctly, all right? Finished, finished. It's not a flat hand, it's slightly curved, okay? Can I show you the left-hand side? This way and this way. Now, some people can do it one-handed. The full sign is two-handed, so for purposes today, let's just do two-handed, finish, right? Here's the sentence, and I know you haven't got the person in front of you, right? That tells you so much, just the facial expression of the person signing to you, right? But based on the word choice, let's figure out the right way to have said for the sign finished, okay? Here we go. My husband has been sick for the last 6 months. He died last week. I am finished. All right? All right. What word would you have used to sign or to speak for that word finished? All right? Let's go to the thesaurus. Now, as I said before, this is the most challenging one by far. You've got finished as in complete, flawless, polished, impeccable, skilled, right? It's something really well done, okay? That's not this one. Let's go to our next word, all right? Or our next interpretation. Here's finished. It's finished, concluded, accomplished, closed, done with, right? You get that, but that's not what she meant as she described what happened to her life and her husband. Let's look at the next set. You'll see it's the adjective consumed or used up. Empty, lost, ruined, wrecked. This is closer to how she felt losing her husband after a 6-month battle. I chose devastated. She was absolutely devastated, is how I would have voiced the sign for finished. So how'd you do? Did you, with the words you chose, did it match the words I chose? Now, there's one of the challenges with interpreting and voicing from sign to English, spoken English, is not every interpreter is going to pick the same thing. Knowing background is a key, right? The more you can learn about the situation you're going to be in, the better the interpretation will go, either sign or from sign to voice. All right, now let me tell you an experience. There's nothing as cool, all right, as accurately interpreting the tone, the emotion, the meaning, the emphasis, the purpose. When somebody comes up after you, the person who is signing says, you nailed it. I really appreciated that. You communicated everything. Because that's what communication is. It's not just the signs. It is the tone, the emotion, the meaning, the purpose, the impact that deaf person wanted to make in that audience. And you were successful in delivering that message. All right, hey, would you please subscribe and get others to subscribe if you want to see more ASL lesson and more ASL challenges. Thanks.